Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one that I'm so excited to film for you guys because today we are going to be doing my first ever one brand tutorial, and that brand is going to be Dose of Colors. So you might have seen I've done a lot of Dose of Colors videos recently, so I'll leave them all below in the description bar, but I'm actually trying out a foundation for the first time today, and that is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation in the shade 119 Light Medium. And then I'm also trying out the concealer underneath my eyes. This is from the same range, so this is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue concealer. Underneath my eyes I've got the shade Light 10, which is this one right here, and then on top of my lid I've got the shade Light Medium 14 on the top of my eyelids as well. And then for the rest of the face to conceal, I added a little bit of this one in the shade 16 Medium 10 just on my scarring right here, and right here, and this is pretty much where we've left off. So I've actually got a stack of other products right here in this beautiful pink and clear bag. So you can see this has got everything that I own from Dose of Colors that I haven't already tried out. So you can see we've got some highlighters, some eyeshadow palettes, some lip glosses, some liquid lipsticks, blushes, everything else in that bag that we're going to be trying out today. So on top of that, we've also got a ton of tools to try out. So this is the only one that I've tried so far. This is the Dose of Colors Seamless Beauty Sponge, which looks like this. This has already been wet and I already used this on this half of my face. And then on top of that, we've got a stack of brushes. So I picked up the full 14 brushes that they have on the website now. So you've got a stack of face brushes, eye brushes, liner brushes. I love the packaging. I love the white handle and the copper rose gold ferrule. I think it is so beautiful. So I thought we'd start off by setting my under eyes because I haven't done that yet. This is the Dose of Colors setting powder brush, and as you can see, she's a really beautiful flat brush that is really cinched. So you can see she's going to set the under eye perfectly. So because Dose of Colors doesn't actually create facial powders, I'm going to use this one from BAREMINERALS. This is the BAREMINERALS Ready SPF 15 Touch-Up Veil in Translucent. I showed you this in my full face of discontinued products, which I'll leave up in the eye up here or up here for you guys to watch after. That was such a fun video and I love the look that I created there. So I'm going to go right ahead and try this brush out. So I'm going to tap into this product first and I'm going to blend out any creasing that I did get because I've had my concealer on for a little bit now. Funnily enough, there's pretty much no creasing or no movement of this foundation or the concealer yet. So that's actually really impressive, and there's no powder on my skin yet. So I'm going to go right ahead and just kind of start patting that underneath the eye. This brush is very soft. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm going to go into this powder from Urban Decay that you can't buy anymore, but they have updated this one. This is the Naked Skin Ultra Definition Pressed Finishing Powder in the shade Naked Medium Light. And then to apply that, I'm going to go into this brush right here. This is the large powder brush. So I'm going to go right ahead and take that brush into the powder. And I'm just going to start by setting the rest of my skin. This foundation ended up being a bit of a darker shade for me, so I've gone into this powder to hopefully lighten it up just a little bit. But I love this powder because it's so smoothing on the skin, and I feel like every single time I put it on, my skin just looks so airbrushed. So next to contour, I'm going to go into this product right here. Once again, a discontinued favorite. This is the Stila Stay All Day Contouring Bronzer for face and body in the shade Medium. And then to apply that, we're going to be trying out this Dose of Colors brush, which is called the Flat Contour Brush. So I'm going to tap that brush into the product, and I'm going to go right ahead and start contouring my cheeks. So I'm also taking that contour across my forehead and against the outer corners of my eyes. And I'm also going to take a little bit down the edges of my nose. So far, I actually really like this brush. It's very soft. Not as dense as other brushes like it, but definitely very soft. So next to bronze, I'm going to take a little bit of my Bahama Mama bronzer from the Balm, and I'm going to use this brush from Dose of Colors to apply it. This is the angled contour brush. So we use the flat contour brush for contour, and I figured we'd try the angled contour for bronzer. So I'm going to take that brush straight into the bronzer, and I'm going to really lightly start to apply that bronzer. I'm also going to take a little tiny bit across my nose as well. So next for highlighters, I was so naughty and I picked up so many highlights from Dose of Colors. I picked up both of the shades from the I Love Sada E X Dose of Colors collection. So I picked up both Soulmate and Bathe, which are really beautiful. And then I picked up a total of 8 of the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie collection. I picked up 2 in Chasing the Sun, 3 in Mirame, and 3 in Fuego. I've already tried the shades Chasing the Sun before, so I found that this one was a little bit dark for me. So I'm actually curious about the shade Fuego because this one's a little bit lighter. What I didn't notice in the haul is, do you see how there's two different packagings and how the writing of this one is actually similar to the Chasing the Sun collection? I didn't notice in the haul, but they actually had repackaged Fuego in the second drop, and it's actually in different packaging. So it's actually similar to the Chasing the Sun collection, but it's definitely the exact same highlight on the inside. So I'm guessing when they created the shade Chasing the Sun and their second drop of the collection, they might have repackaged the initial two shades Fuego and Mirame into this packaging. However, as I said, the other two ones that I picked up with the cursive writing and the name on the back are actually in the gold packaging, whereas this one is in the darker bronze packaging. So I thought that was something interesting to note. So I think we'll use the shade Fuego. So since I showed you the other packaging, I'll show you the first drop and how that looked. So here is what she looks like. So you can see it's very much so the lighter, more champagne gold packaging versus the darker bronze one that I showed you earlier. And then the inside of the color looks like this. So I feel like this is going to be a better suited match to my skin tone, but it is such a beautiful highlight. So to apply that, I'm going to try out the Dose of Colors fan brush, which looks like this. So I'm going to take that one straight into the highlighter, and I'm going to go right ahead and start highlighting my cheekbones. Definitely a better color. Do you see how when I highlight from the side, it looks nice and blinding, but when I turn forward, there's not a weird cast? If you go back and watch my Desi X Katie try on video, which I'll leave in the eye for you guys to watch later on, it was actually very, very, very dark here. So I'd say Fuego is a better color match for me. I think I definitely prefer this one a little bit more than Chasing the Sun. Only for my skin tone. I think if you were maybe a little bit deeper than I am, you could get away with Chasing the Sun a little bit better than I can. And then for blush, I've got these two blushes from the Mint For You collection. These are called the Blush Like You Mint It blushes, and I've got two shades. So I've got Amazement and Statement. So you can see Amazement's a little bit more peach, and then Statement is a little bit more pink. I'm not sure what I want to do today, but I remembered looking at the shade Amazement and thinking I had to try it out. So I reckon let's try this one today. This is what the outer packaging looks like. This is so beautiful. I am obsessed with this color. I think it is such a perfect mint teal color. And then this is what the shade looks like, and it is right up my alley. This type of tone, like a peachy nudie color, is like my absolute favorite go-to blush color. So I'm so excited to try this one out. I cannot wait. So to apply that, I've got a couple of different options here. The larger one is called the Powder Slash Blush Brush, and the smaller one is called the Tapered Blush Brush. So I think I'll try out the Tapered Blush Brush to apply that blush. So I'm going to go right ahead and take a little bit of the blush, and I'm going to apply that right from the apple of my cheeks moving up. I'm not too sure how pigmented this blush is, so I'm going to start really slowly and I'm going to build from there. That is such a pretty color. I can tell I'm going to use this so much. It's not overly shiny either, so I feel like if I have a little bit of texture that day, I could get away with this color really easily. I'm going to take a little bit across my nose too, which I've been doing recently because I think it looks really fresh and sun-kissed. But that is such a pretty color. It actually translates a lot more pink on me, but with that gold highlighter, I think it looks really, really pretty. Okay, so I went right ahead and I zoomed you guys in so we could start on the eyeshadow, but you guys, for eyeshadow palettes, we have so many different options. I've got these four from the Core collection. So we've actually got the Baked Browns eyeshadow palette, the Sassy Siennas eyeshadow palette, the Marvelous Mauves eyeshadow palette, and the Blushing Berries. So these are all from their Core collection. I've also got these two that were limited edition that I think you can still buy now. So I've got the Hidden Treasure palette and the Ice Cream palette. I also have the mini eyeshadow palette from the Minnie Mouse collection with Dose of Colors, and that comes with 1 blush and 6 eyeshadows. I also picked up 2 of the I Love Sari E X Dose of Colors eyeshadow palettes, so these have 6 eyeshadows in them. Next I have this eyeshadow quad from the Desi X Katie collection. It's the 4-pen eyeshadow palette, which has Nolly Sue's Harpoon and Turbo Sun, but I've already used this in my Desi X Katie try on, so I won't be using that one today. And then the last 2 palettes that I picked up are these 2 from the Desi X Katie collection. These are called the Friendcation palette. So I think I'm first going to start off with the Friendcation from the Desi X Katie collection. So here is what the outer packaging looks like. It is so beautiful, oh my goodness. And then the inside of the palette looks like this. It is so beautiful. Like, I love the array of colors. I love how there's a couple of pops of blue in there. There's a gold, there's some warm tones, there's some pinks. I'm obsessed. So I think I'm going to start off with this brush right here. This is the Dose of Colors blending brush, which is a nice big fluffy brush. So I first think I'll tap into this middle shade in the top row, which is called Necessary. It's a beautiful medium toned matte shade. And I think I'm going to take that one straight into the crease. I really like that they added this color into the palette. It's a perfect mid-tone neutral shade, so it works just like a contour powder for the eye. So with the same brush, I might go into this shade right here, which is called Basic. And I'm going to take that one pretty much straight underneath the brow bone to help fade out that color Necessary. That is the perfect color for my skin tone because it's got a slightly different undertone to my skin, but you can see that fades perfectly, whereas this one's a little bit harsher. That's such a pretty color. So next I'm going to try out this brush right here, which is called the shader brush. It's a little bit of a flat packing brush, but it's still quite fluffy, which I think I'll like. And I might take it into this shade right here, which is called Girl Bye. This one has got a little bit more kick up than the last one, but I'm going to take that one straight ahead on the outer corner just to deepen that up. And that color is super rich and pigmented. I really like that. That is such a unique color, and it translates on the eye the exact same way as it did in the palette. So I'm really just patting that straight onto the eye. I'm going to flip the brush and slightly pull it into the outer V just so I can get a little bit of an outer lifted shape. And I'm going to go back into the blending brush which we used for that previous color, and I'm just going to start softly blending out the edges. So next we actually have 4 of these Block Party single eyeshadows from Dose of Colors. So we've got the shades Shall We Dance, Heart of Gold, Encore, and Sizzle. So I remember from the haul, Sizzle was this really beautiful burnt raspberry cranberry color. So I'll show you what she looks like because I think we'll use her. So here is what the outer packaging looks like. I love the holographic writing. I think it is so beautiful. And then on the inside, this is what the shade Sizzle looks like. It is the most beautiful cranberry raspberry color. So I think we'll use this one. So to apply that, I think I'll use this brush right here. This is the concealer brush, but it's a really beautiful flat packing brush, so I think it'll be perfect for eyeshadow. So I'm going to take that brush straight into the single shadow, and I'm really going to pack that color on there. And then I'm going to go right ahead and pat that color on the inner half of my lid. This is such a beautiful color. I definitely don't own anything like it, and I was afraid that those shimmer particles wouldn't pick up, especially because this is dry, but they're definitely showing up on the eye. I also feel like this brush would be so good for cutting a crease because I know it says concealer brush, but it's a really beautiful, firm, flat packing brush, and I think if I wanted to make this look more graphic, I could totally cut out a shape with this really easily. But oh my goodness, can we talk about this shadow for just a second? It is so pretty. And then I think I'll go back into the palette and take this color right here, which is called Try Me. And I'm going to pack it into that brush because I think this would complement it really well. And I'm going to go right ahead and just layer her on there. These are 2 totally different textures. It's got more of a metallic effect, whereas the other eye that only has that Block Party shadow is a little bit more matte with specks of glitter. This formula that I'm popping on this eye from the palette is definitely more metallic. So I think they're both really beautiful. I'd say this one looks probably more intense now because it's been layered, but that's really pretty. And then once again, I'm taking that same blending brush and I'm going to diffuse the edges. So next for the lower lash line, I think I might try out some shades from the I Love Sada E X Dose of Colors palette. And this is what the packaging looks like of the palette. It is so beautiful. I love her packaging so much. I love how the cream color matches my nails and then the green suits my background. Isn't that just a whole entire vibe? And then on the inside, this is what it looks like. So you can see it's got 6 different shadows. Some of them are mattes and some of them are shimmers. So for the lower lash line, I think I'll take this brush right here, which is called the Flat Definer brush. And I'm going to tap into this shadow right here, which is called Finders Keepers. And I'm going to start smudging this shade underneath the lower lashes. I'm going to connect it to the outer corner and I'm going to smoke it pretty far down so it's quite smoky. That is such a fun color. I feel like I definitely will do a look with just this palette alone, but I feel like that little pop of like fun peachness underneath just really kind of pulls everything together. And then to tie it into the top, I might even take a combination of this shade and this shade, which was Girl by Enchuro, and I'm gonna go right ahead and keep that a little bit tighter to the lower lashes. Once again, I'm gonna connect it to the top. So to intensify the eye a little bit, I think I'm going to go into this product right here, which is the Dose of Colors Set the Tone Cream Matte Eye Color in the shade Rodeo. Now I know it's a cream eyeshadow, but I actually want to put it in my waterline to kind of intensify this tone a little bit more. So this is what the packaging looks like. As you can see, it is a little jar with a white lid that says Dose of Colors. And then this is what the shade Rodeo looks like. So I feel like it would tie into the eyes really, really well. It's a really beautiful warm chocolate brown. So to apply that into the waterline, I thought I'd try a brush. This one right here is called the Fine Liner Brush. It's a teensy tiny little liner brush. I'm going to take a tiny little bit of that on the tip of this brush. I'm going to take that on the back of my hand. And I'm going to go right ahead and try to apply that into the lower waterline. I've never tried using a brush to apply my cream or my gel products into my lower waterline before, but this one is very soft, so it seems to be working quite well. This color is really pretty. I would say the one thing is this formula dries really, really, really quickly, so I've had to tap into the product a couple of times to kind of get it to look nice and smooth, but I can tell this would set really well. And I am in love with this color. It's such a beautiful warm brown, and I think it makes my brown eyes pop really well. So next, to apply my inner corner highlight, I might take this brush right here, which is called the pencil brush. And I think I'll go into this shade right here from the I Love Sarai palette, which is called Wanderlust. And I'm going to go right ahead and highlight my inner corner with that shade. This is such a pretty champagne with a pinky undertone. And then because I haven't played with these ones yet and I really want to try them, I want to try one of these two glitter eyeliners from the Minnie Mouse collection. I've got the shades Dazzling and Stunning. So I want to apply one of these maybe to the inner corner of the eye. So here's what they look like. These are so beautiful. I feel like, to be fair, this one would go better with the eye look, but because I want to apply it in the inner corner, I think I'll go in with this top one, which is the shade Dazzling. So here's a swatch of the shade Dazzling. And then here is a swatch of the shade Stunning. So once again, I'm going to take a tiny little bit of this color Dazzling, and I'm just going to pop a little hint just onto the inner corners. And I'll take that same pencil brush and just blend them out. And then the last thing that we have to do for the eyes is apply our liner. So I've got this brush right here, which is called the Winged Liner Brush, but as you can see, it's got a spoolie on the bottom, so you could use it for brows as well. So I think I'll go back into the I Love Sarai palette and take the darker shade here, which is called Loungy. As you can see, it's a black with a ton of sparkle, so we'll see if the shimmer glitter particles actually pick up on the eye. So I'm going to start patting that along the lash line. This color is ultra pigmented. You can see how quickly that happened. And then I'm going to start winging out the shadow. And I'm going to start pulling it back towards the eye to create my wing. Okay, so here's a close-up of how the eyes are looking. I think that's going to be it for eyeshadow. I think because Dose of Colors doesn't have a mascara or a brow product, I'm going to go off of camera and do that just to save us some time, and I'll come right back for lashes. Okay, so we're back. So I've got my brows filled in and my mascara is drying right now. So next, moving on to lashes. I've got one set of lashes. So they come with this slip right here, and then this is what the box looks like. These are the Double Dose lashes. So on the inside, this is what the lashes in the style Double Dose look like. They are very, very intense, spiky lashes. You can see they're really, really full at the roots, but they taper off to kind of like a spiky full effect. So we're going to go right ahead and apply these. Okay, so I'm just measuring these towards my eyes, and as you can tell, I'm going to really have to trim off a lot of these, because if I sit them on my lash band, do you see how full and intense they are? They're really pretty, but they're really long. So if you're somebody that has a problem with your lash bands being too short, these would be great, because as you can see, they pretty much take up my whole entire lash band. So I'm gonna have to trim these for sure. Okay, so the lashes are on, and I would say that these are very intense. I feel like I keep blinking and I don't know where to look because they're very, very heavy, and I can definitely see them very much so on my upper lash line. Like, you know, if you're wearing a really heavy set and then they actually look like they almost impair your vision a little bit, that's kind of how I'm feeling. They're really intense. I feel like when my eyes are open, I really love the look of these lashes because they're really intense, really wispy. They're very faux mink-esque, and I feel like that's kind of the style that I love. But because this band is so thick, I felt like it took a little bit of finessing to try and get it in the inner corner and to get it to stick down and stay down. And I feel like if I maybe blink too hard, this might pop off a little bit. So we'll see how I go with it. But guys, we are down to our lips. So for lips, we have an abundance of different options. So firstly, we have these liquid matte and liquid velvet lips that I did a full try on video for, which I'll leave in the link up here or up here for you guys to watch after. Seriously, we have so many different lip options. So I've already tried these ones on camera. So I'm actually going to pop these ones aside and we'll try something else. And then I also have a couple of lipstick options as well. So these three here are actually two of the shade No Shade and one of More Creamer Please from the Desi X Katy collection. So in the Desi X Katy try on video, I showed you these already, so I'll pop these aside too. And then the second formula of lipsticks that I picked up are these Lip It Up satin lipsticks. So you can see I've got 5 from the core collection and then 2 limited edition shades from the Minnie Mouse collection here. So the shades that I have are Glazed Brulee, Butterscotch Toast and Cinnamon Swirl from the core collection. And then I have 1928 and Forever from the limited edition range. And then the last things that I have here are the lip glosses. So I actually have the shade Can You Not from the core collection, which I already swatched in that try on video. I also picked up this one from the Desi X Katy collection that I was trying to get my hands on forever. This is in the shade The Most. And then I've got these two from the Minnie Mouse collection in the shades Moi and One and Only. And then it turns out I actually missed one. This is also a liquid lipstick. This is the liquid matte lipstick in the shade Bountiful, BOW-TIFUL, Bountiful. Ooh, the packaging, it gets me every single time. Do you see how beautiful this packaging is? It is actually not as bright as the outer packaging leads you to believe. It is actually a really beautiful nudie color. So I'm going to go right ahead and apply this shade right here. That is such a pretty color, and I feel like that works out perfectly because this shade I didn't end up swatching in that try on video, so at least you can see it in real life now. That is such a pretty color, and I feel like it ties in really well with that lower lash line color that we used from the I Love Sari E palette as well. That's really pretty. And then I feel like I want to chuck on a gloss, so I've got 4 different options here. I think because once again we've already tried this one on, I'll pop this one down. This is the shade Can You Not from the core collection. So we're left with these 3 colors right here. I honestly feel like any of these would work because I think they all would bring their own unique aspect to the look, but I feel like if anything, maybe we'll do this one right here because I know how long I've been wanting to get my hands on this, and it's such a beautiful unique gloss. This is the shade The Most from the Desi X Katy collection. It's got the same applicator from the regular lip gloss line, so it's a flat paddle with product on both sides. Yeah, that is really pretty. I love how it almost reflects kind of like a pinky green color, but what I might do just to make sure I don't contaminate the bottle is I'm going to roll a little bit of that product off the applicator and onto the back of my hand, and I'm just going to take some of that on my finger and I might go right ahead and just apply it on top. Yeah, that is really pretty. It almost just looks like a clear gloss with a bit of a pinky aspect. That's really pretty. So the last thing that we have to do is set down our face. So this is actually a product I haven't used before in this scent. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray in the scent Honey. So I actually used the eyeshadow palette in my full face of samples video, which I'll leave in the link up here and down below in the description box for you guys to watch later on. But it is such cute packaging. I love this. So I'm going to go right ahead and shake it up, and I'm going to set my face down. It definitely does smell like honey. So yeah guys, this is the finished look. I am so happy with the way that it turned out. I think I found so many new favorite products. I'm so obsessed with the way that the eyes turned out, and that blush is just everything. The only things I forgot to show you earlier are actually these 2 products from the Mint For You collection. These are the Ideal Duo Loose Pigment and Primer sets, so I totally forgot about these earlier. I have the shades Magic Moment and Mint To Be. These are so cute and I totally forgot about these, but as you can see we still have a stack more stuff that we haven't haven't used yet. As you can see, some of these are backups and some of these are just standalone products. So I definitely feel like we're going to have enough products to do a second round, as well as all the lippies that we didn't use in this video. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more from me, then you guys know what to do. Please feel free to leave me a like, comment and leave any requests that you have down below in the comment bar. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell and drag it all the way down to all to become a part of this family and be notified of all my future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Which is called, it's got the exact same shade. So with the same brush, I might, same brush? Yeah. Wow. Can you stop shaking, please? Oh my gosh, sheer fear. Sheer fear. Sheer fear. Ultra def. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing lipstick all over my teeth.